Where are you coming from?
2:47 a.m. The penthouse was dark except for the glow of the city 42 floors below. Amara Cole turned her key in the lock as quietly as possible, praying he was asleep. He wasn't. Where are you coming from? His voice cut through the darkness like a blade. She froze. Heart hammering. Lee Sang-hyun sat in the shadows, perfectly still. Watching. Waiting. She'd heard that tone exactly 3 times in 6 months. A man who stole from him. Disappeared. A politician who lied to him. Destroyed. His right-hand man who betrayed him. Never seen again. Calm. Cold. Lethal. And now he was using it on her. I texted. I said I'd be late. That's not what I asked? She couldn't see his face. Just his silhouette. The sharp line of his jaw. The tension in his shoulders. I work for you. I don't know you. You live in my house. He stood. Stepped into the dim light. You disappear 3 nights a week. You come back exhausted. Hiding something. So I'll ask one more time, Amara. He moved closer. Too close. Close enough she could see his eyes. Dark. Intense. Furious. Where are you coming from? She lifted her chin. That's personal. Not anymore. He pulled out his phone. Swiped. Turned the screen toward her. A photo. Grainy. Surveillance footage. Her. Outside a building in Brooklyn. Entering apartment 3C. Her stomach dropped. You had me followed? Brooklyn. Bed-Stuy walk up. 3rd floor. You sit with a woman for hours. His voice was quieter now. Dangerous. Your mother. Stage 4 lung cancer. Experimental treatment. Costs $8,000 a month. The air left her lungs. You've been working double shifts at Mount Sinai. Cleaning crew. 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. He knew everything. Every secret. Every sacrifice. Every lie. So let me ask you one last time. He stepped closer. His voice dropped to a whisper. Where are you coming from? And why the hell didn't you tell me? Amara's hands shook. Not because she was afraid of him, but because of the way he was looking at her. Like she'd broken something he didn't know could break. Because you're my employer, she whispered. Not my savior. What if I want to be both? The question hung in the air. And everything changed. If you're still watching right now, drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. Subscribe to our channel for stories that can make you smile, and can also make you cry for absolute strangers. Now, let's get into the story. Lee Sang-hyun didn't hire staff himself. That's what his house manager was for. But when Kim Min-ho brought Amara Cole's file to his study, something made him look up. Literature degree from NYU. 3 years housekeeping experience at the plaza. References are impeccable. She needs live-in position. Willing to start immediately. Why does she need live-in? Doesn't say. Want me to dig? Sang-hyun looked at the photo clipped to the file. Professional. Neutral expression. But something in her eyes, intelligence maybe. Or stubbornness. No. Hire her. You sure? I can. I said hire her. Amara moved into the staff quarters that Friday. Sang-hyun barely noticed. He had shipments to track, politicians to manage, rivals to neutralize. Until week 2. He'd been in his study until 3 a.m. reviewing contracts when she knocked. Actually knocked. On his door. At 3 a.m. What? She opened the door. No fear. Just mild annoyance. You haven't eaten. Chef left bulgogi in the warmer. Eat or don't, but stop pretending you're not hungry. You're making the floorboards creak with your pacing. She left before he could respond. He stared at the empty doorway for a full minute. Then went to the kitchen and ate the bulgogi. It became a pattern. He worked late, she appeared with food. No lecture. No hovering. Just competence and a vague air of judgment. "You pay people to manage your schedule," she said one night, setting down tea he hadn't asked for. "Maybe let them. I don't take advice from staff." "Then fire me." She turned to leave. "Amara." She stopped. "Look back." "Thank you?" "For the tea." Her expression softened. Just slightly. "You're welcome." That was when it started. The noticing. The way she moved through his space, efficient, graceful, completely unbothered by his reputation. The way she read on breaks. Old paperbacks. Russian literature. The way she'd argued with him once about wasting food. "People are starving and you're throwing away ribeye?" He'd doubled the food budget. Started donating excess to shelters. Didn't tell her. But he did it. And somewhere between week 2 and week 12, Sang-hyun realized he wasn't just noticing. He was falling. It started small. Amara asked for Tuesday evenings off. "Personal matter. I'll make up the hours." "Fine." Then Thursday evenings. Then Saturdays. By week 16, she had a pattern. Leave at 6 p.m. Return between 2 to 3 a.m. Exhausted. Quiet. Different. Sang-hyun told himself it wasn't his business. Told himself he didn't care. But he started waiting. Sitting in the dark. Pretending to work. Watching the clock. 2:15 a.m. She'd come through the door. See him. Nod once. Disappear to her room. He'd exhale. Go to bed. It was pathetic. "You're distracted," Minho said one morning. "I'm fine." The maid. "You're watching her." "I'm ensuring security." "You're watching her," Minho repeated. "Everyone's noticed. Be careful. People will use it." "There's nothing to use." "Then why do you wait up every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday?" Sang-hyun had no answer. Because the truth was unacceptable. He was jealous. Jealous of wherever she went. Whoever she saw. Whatever made her smile the way she used to when she first started. She didn't smile anymore. She came home tired. Worn. Like something was eating her alive. And he couldn't ask. Couldn't push. Couldn't reveal that he cared more than an employer should. Until the night she came home crying. Week 20. 3:30 a.m. Amara came through the door and went straight to her room. He heard it through the wall. Quiet crying. Controlled but breaking. Every instinct screamed to go to her. He didn't. Boundaries. Professionalism. The distance that kept them both safe. Next morning, she was back to composed. Eyes red but voice steady. "I need to request Sundays off. In addition to my evening schedule." "Why?" "Personal reasons." "Amara." "Please." Her voice cracked. "Please don't ask." He wanted to push. Demand answers. Use his power to force the truth. Instead, he nodded. Approved. She left. He sat at his desk and realized something terrifying. He'd give her anything she asked for. Anything. And that made her the most dangerous person in his life. That night he broke his own rule. Called Minho. The maid. "I need to know where she goes." "You sure?" "I wouldn't ask if I wasn't. This could get complicated." "Just do it." 24 hours later, Minho returned with a file. Surveillance photos. Bank records. Medical bills. Sang-hyun read it twice. Then sat in silence for an hour. Her mother. Evelyn Cole. Stage 4 lung cancer. Experimental treatment at Mount Sinai. Cost, $8,000 monthly. Amara's second job. Night cleaning crew. Same hospital. 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. She spent Sundays at her mother's bedside. Every penny she earned went to treatment. That's why she lived in. Saved rent. That's why she was exhausted. That's her secret. Not another man. Not betrayal. Just a daughter trying to save her mother. Sang-hyun felt something crack in his chest. He'd suspected her, interrogated her, made her feel unsafe. Because he couldn't handle his own feelings. He was an asshole. But he could fix this. Which brings us back to tonight. 2:47 a.m. Her standing in the doorway. Him revealing he knows everything. You had me followed? I needed to know you were safe. Safe? Or controlled? Both, he admitted. I don't know how to separate them. Amara's eyes blazed. You had no right. I know. My mother is dying and you turned it into surveillance. I know. Then why? Because you come home at 3 a.m. and I wait like an idiot to make sure you're alive. Because the thought of something happening to you makes me lose my mind. Because you work yourself to death and won't ask for help and it's killing me to watch. I don't need your help. I know. You've made that clear. But I'm offering anyway. She laughed. Bitter. Broken. Why? Out of guilt? Pity? Because He stopped. Couldn't say it. Because what? Because you matter. The words hung between them. I'm your maid. You're more than that and we both know it. This can't. I know. I'm your employer. Power imbalance. Inappropriate. I know all the reasons this is wrong. Then why are we having this conversation? Because I'm tired of pretending. Amara stared at him. Pretending what? That I don't wait for you every night. That I don't notice when you're sad. That I don't want to fix everything that hurts you even though I have no right. You're my boss. I'm a man who's falling for a woman he can't have. And I don't know what to do about it. Silence. Just breathing and city noise and a truth neither could take back. I need to sleep, Amara whispered. Okay. And you need to stop waiting for me. I can't. Try. She went to her room. Closed the door. Left him standing in the dark wondering how everything had gone so wrong. What neither of them knew, someone was listening. Choi Jin-woo. Sang-hyun's underboss. Ambitious. Ruthless. Waiting for weakness. And he just found it. The boss cared about the maid. Perfect leverage. 2 days later, men approached Evelyn Cole's building. Knocked on apartment 3C. Your daughter works for Lee Sang-hyun. We need information. Evelyn, frail but fierce, stared them down. I don't know anything about his business. Then your daughter will provide it. His schedule. His meetings. His movements. She won't. She will. Or we cut your treatment funding. You die in 6 weeks. Your choice. They left a burner phone. Instructions. Threats. When Amara arrived Sunday morning, her mother was shaking. Baby, don't. Let me go. Don't betray that man for me. You're my mother. I'm not letting you die. Amara stared at the phone for hours. Then called the number. If you're still watching, drop a still watching in the comments, because this next part changes everything. She gave them small things. Schedule changes. Meeting locations. Harmless logistics. Or so she thought. Jin-woo used every piece. Position men. Set up ambush. Tuesday night. Sang-hyun's car on the FDR drive. 3 SUVs boxed them in. Gunfire. Chaos. Blood. 4 of his men died protecting him. He survived. Barely. Min-ho traced the leak within hours. Information came from inside. Only 3 people knew those details. You, me, and the maid. Sang-hyun's world stopped. No. How else would they know? She wouldn't. 4 men are dead. Someone talked. It wasn't her. Then prove it. Sang-hyun went to her room at 4 a.m. She was awake. Crying. Did you tell anyone my schedule? She looked up. Terrified. Yes or no, Amara? Yes. Whisper. Broken. Everything tilted. Why? They threatened my mother. Said they'd stop treatment. I didn't know what they'd do with the information. I swear. Men died tonight. Because of what you told them. I didn't know. You should have told me. Why would I? You're my employer. I don't belong in your world. His own words. Thrown back. She was shaking. I'll leave. Tonight. I'll disappear. Just please don't hurt my mother. I'm not going to hurt your mother. Then what? I'm going to save her. And then I'm going to kill everyone who threatened her. Sang-hyun moved like a storm. Transferred Evelyn to Mount Sinai VIP floor. Private room. Best oncologists. Armed security outside her door. Treatments covered. Indefinitely. She's under my protection now. Amara stared. Why? Because you're mine to protect. That includes your family. I betrayed you. You were coerced. There's a difference. He called Jin-woo to neutral ground. Warehouse in Queens. Jin-woo arrived confident. Thought he had leverage. Sang-hyun had already dismantled his operation. Frozen accounts. Turned his men. Isolated him completely. You threatened someone under my protection. She's just a maid. She's mine. The word hung. Jin-woo realized too late. What happened next was brutal. Final. Implied but not shown. Sang-hyun came home at dawn. Blood on his cuffs. Exhausted. Amara waited in the living room. Is it done? It's done. You're safe. Your mother's safe. Thank you. Silence stretched. I'm sorry, she whispered. For everything. For putting you in danger. Stop. He sat. Didn't look at her. I need to tell you something. Okay. 6 months ago, I hired you because you had good references. That's all it was supposed to be. She waited. But you don't act like staff. You treat me like I'm human. You argue with me. You exist in my space without fear. And He stopped. I don't know how to protect you without owning you. And I can't own you. I won't. But I can't stop wanting to. When you come home late, I wait. Every time. Not for security. Because I need to know you're safe. Because the thought of something happening to you. His voice cracked. I've killed men. Built an empire. And a woman in a maid uniform completely destroyed my control. Amara was quiet. Processing. You saved my mother's life. I owe you. I don't want debt. Then what do you want? He finally looked at her. Something I have no right to ask for. Which is? You. Not as staff. Not as obligation. Just you. She didn't answer immediately. I need time. I know. And I'm not quitting. I still need this job. Okay. And you don't get to control where I go or who I see. Understood. But, he looked up. You can wait for me. If you want. When I come home late. It wasn't yes. But it wasn't no. Permission. Possibility. A door left open. I can do that. She stood. Good night, Mr. Lee. Sang-hyun. Just call me Sang-hyun. She almost smiled. Good night, Sang-hyun. Things changed slowly. Amara still worked. Still had boundaries. Still went to the hospital on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. But now when she came home, he was waiting. Not interrogating. Just present. How's your mother? Better. Treatment's working. Doctors are optimistic. Good. They'd sit. Sometimes talk. Sometimes just exist in the same space. He learned things. Her favorite book was Anna Karenina. She'd read it 7 times. She wanted to go back to school. Maybe teach literature. She was terrified of failing. Of being ordinary. You could never be ordinary, he said one night. You barely know me. I know enough. You work 2 jobs to save your mother. You stand up to me. You're the strongest person I've ever met. Or the stubbornest. That too. She laughed. actually laughed. He'd never heard a better sound. One night, 3 months in, she came home early. 10 p.m. instead of 3 a.m. He looked up from his laptop. Everything okay? They reduced Mom's treatment schedule. She's responding well. I have more free time now. That's great. She sat beside him. Closer than usual. I've been thinking. About? What you said? About wanting me. Not as staff. His heart stopped. I still think it's complicated. The power dynamic. The fact that you literally saved my mother's life. I can't tell if what I feel is real or just gratitude. I understand. But I want to find out. He stared at her. You're saying. I'm saying we try. Slowly. Carefully. With rules and boundaries and the understanding that if it doesn't work, we go back. No awkwardness. No losing my job. Okay. Okay? Whatever you want. However you need it. I'll follow your lead. She smiled. You've never followed anyone's lead in your life. Then I'll learn. 6 months after that conversation, they were different. Not employer and employee. Not quite lovers. Something in between. Something new. He stopped waiting in the dark. Started waiting on the couch. Reading. Present but not possessive. She stopped being so careful. Started touching his shoulder when she passed. Sitting closer. Laughing more. One night she kissed him. Quick. Surprising. Perfect. What was that for? Testing something. And? Still need more data. She kissed him again. Slower this time. When they pulled apart, he cupped her face. I love you. I need you to know that. Even if you're not ready to say it back. I know. You know? I've known for months. Since you saved my mother? Since you let me set the pace. Since you learned to wait instead of control. And I'm almost there. Not quite. But almost. I'll wait. I know you will. That's why I'm almost there. 1 year after the night everything changed. Amara came home at 11 p.m. Earlier than usual. Sang-hyun looked up from his book. Good day? Mom's in remission. Full remission. Doctors are calling it a miracle. He stood. Pulled her into his arms. That's incredible. She held him. Tight. Real. Thank you. For everything. For saving her. For giving me time. For waiting. Always. She pulled back. Looked up at him. I love you. 3 words. Simple. Devastating. You don't have to say that because... I'm not saying it because I owe you. I'm saying it because it's true. Because you're infuriating and possessive, and you still wait up even though I told you not to. Because you make me feel safe. Because I choose you. He kissed her. Soft. Reverent. Like she was something precious. Where are you coming from? He murmured against her lips. She smiled. You already know. Say it anyway. Home. I'm coming home. Good. Don't leave again. What if I want to? Then I'll wait. However long it takes. Until you come back. You're impossible. You love me anyway. Unfortunately, yes. They stood in the living room of his penthouse, city lights below, dawn coming. Not perfect. Still complicated. But honest. Real. Chosen. And for both of them, that was everything. If you made it this far, thank you. Here's what I want to know. Can possessive love become healthy love? Or are some patterns impossible to break? Comment stayed if you think they made it work. Comment run if some red flags never change. Where are you watching from? Subscribe if you haven't. These stories need you. Next week, she married her sister's ex, then discovered why her sister really left. Until then, sometimes the most dangerous men learn to be gentle. Sometimes being seen is the scariest thing. And sometimes love is just learning to wait.